Hey, what is going on, guys? If you are new, welcome to the channel. And if you're coming back, thank you for checking out another video. So for today, I have another video about America for you. We are gonna talk about 5 things you should know if you plan on visiting the United States someday. Traveling and living in the US is awesome, but there are some things that you should think about to make sure you have the best experience possible. Today, I've got 5 tips for you guys. The first tip I have for you guys is don't forget how huge the United States is. It is an enormous country. It's one of the biggest in the world. And cities are very, very far apart from each other. So if you're planning a trip, you probably aren't going to be able to go to New York, and then Los Angeles, and then Miami. Because that would be like traveling across all of Europe. So if you're planning on visiting the United States, you should pick a few major cities that are pretty close to each other. Maybe you go to the West Coast, so San Francisco, Los Angeles, or you go to the East Coast, go to New York City and New Jersey. But it's better to plan on picking a small region of the United States instead of trying to see everything in one trip, because that is pretty much impossible. The next one isn't so much a tip as it is something that you should know. In America, service workers, so people that work in restaurants, that are working the cash register of stores, they are really, really friendly. And so they will probably talk to you and try to have a conversation while you're interacting with them, and that is totally normal. If you go to a restaurant, the waiter will probably ask you, "Oh, what are you doing today? You know, what brings you in here? How's your day going?" That is totally normal. So don't freak out if a service worker tries to have a short conversation with you. Generally, Americans are pretty friendly, especially while they're working, so just be ready for that if you plan on visiting here. So the next tip is related to the second one. One of the reasons that service workers are so friendly is that they rely on tips. So do not forget to tip your waiter or waitress, or if you go to get a haircut, don't forget to tip the person that cuts your hair, because that is how they make their salary. If you're curious about tipping, I plan on making a video specifically about this topic eventually, because a lot of foreigners that visit America don't really understand when you should tip and how much you should tip. But in general, if the other person is doing a physical service for you, like cutting your hair or waiting on you in a restaurant, and they do a really good job, you should tip them maybe between 15 and 20% of what your total cost was. So if you go out to eat with your family and the whole meal costs $50, you should plan on tipping the waiter maybe anywhere from $7 to $10. Not tipping is considered really rude, so do not forget this if you plan on going to America. So the next tip is mostly for big cities like Houston, Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles. And that is, in big cities, life is very fast-paced. People are busy, they're in a hurry, they have places that they need to go and get to. So if you are with your family on the sidewalk in New York City, maybe don't all stand where people are walking and try to take a bunch of pictures. That will probably annoy the people around you because they're trying to walk to wherever they need to go. And also, if people bump into you or kind of push you out of the way on the subway or even on the sidewalk, don't feel bad. It's not something you should take personally. They're just in a hurry And sometimes that's just what Americans do. Okay, and the last thing that I really want you guys to know is that there is no one American culture. America has many, many different cultures. It's not just big cities, so there are tons of other places and cultures in America outside of New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, places like that. You can go to Colorado, which has an awesome outdoor culture. There are beautiful mountains and rivers and tons of exciting things to do outside. You could go up to New England, like Maine and Massachusetts, and the culture there is totally different. There's also the South, and then places like New Orleans in the Gulf of Mexico. There are so many different lifestyles and cultures here that almost anyone can find something that is a great fit for them. So if you plan on visiting America, by all means, check out LA, check out New York, look at the really big, notable tourist areas, but also consider another place that might not be as popular of a tourist destination. You might find something that you really like. Okay, so that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these tips help you understand America a little bit more and maybe make you encouraged to come here someday. Keep studying hard, guys. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.